Okay, y'all, so it is day 3 of me choosing me and putting myself first. And whew, I thought it'd get easier day by day, but it's not at all, y'all. It is getting harder and harder and harder for me because I really do love my husband and I really wish we can work it out. I don't know, a few things I want to address. Somebody in the comments from day 2 said, if I write out the good and the bad, honestly, the good would outweigh the bad. I'm not even gonna lie about that. The good would outweigh the bad. I don't care. Yeah, he cheated on me. Yeah, he talked to other people, but that's the only thing he does wrong. Granted, oh, my stomach making noises. My bad, y'all. I'm on my lunch break. I gotta go get my food. Anywho, um, he go to work. I already said all of this. He go to work. He make sure he handle business. He don't mind me not working. I'm talking about when these jobs stress me out too much and I don't want to be there. He be like, quit. Even now, he was like, I don't even know why you went back to work. I told you not to go back to work. But I'm such an independent person that I cannot just sit around and let somebody do all the work. And I'm a good partner, a good helpmate. I can't sit around and watch you work your fingers to the bone while we struggling. I will go get a job to help out. I don't mind working. And we had a few conversations. We had one last night and we've been texting this morning. And honestly, the conversations is not making it easier. I thought I wanted answers, but it's not making it easier. It's actually making it harder because it's making me want to stay, because it's showing me my flaws as well. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I know that I'm crazy. I know that I'm crazy, low-key. I know I am. I'm not even going to deny that. I'm not even going to act like I don't know, because I do know. I know that I am a lot to deal with. I know my attitude and my mouth is ridiculous. And apparently that is a part of why he did what he did. These past few weeks, I have been, and I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all. I might as well at this point, right? So these past few weeks, I've been going through something mentally. I've been feeling really overstimulated and overwhelmed because those of you who are new here, you don't really know about my past and my childhood. But growing up, I felt like my mother didn't like me. I was very independent. I've been on my own for a very long time. I really don't have anybody I can call and depend on and things like that. So in my relationship, I was still a single woman in my relationship. If I'm being honest, I was still like, okay, I got to handle this. And there was no we. So I got some overwhelmed with, hey, let me see how I can explain this where it'll make sense, because y'all, I be rambling. So I am a creative person. I don't mind going to work, but I'm very creative. I'm talking about, I'm a licensed braider here in South Carolina. Got my own clothing line where I make t-shirts, sweatsuits and things like that. I also do my content. So I'm always looking at extra ways to make money. I do my coachings, my ebooks. I'm always doing extra things to make money, on top of I'm an overachiever. I want to be a great wife and a great mom. So I go to work, like literally this is my day. Go to work, get up in the morning, get myself together, record some content, try to get a little bit of it edited. Then I get the kids up, get ready. I go to work, I come home, I cook, and then, we get the kids ready for bed. So after a while, it started feeling overwhelming because I feel like things are not coming together the way I need them to. So I started walking around the house with an attitude like, why the fuck this house so dirty? And I got a potty mouth, y'all. Anybody who know me know I cuss. And I'm not saying this is a reason enough for him to do what he did, but I'm just saying, after us having, a discussion, in the way I talk to him, I degraded that man. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I didn't, because I know I do. I call him a FN, a BAN. I have a potty mouth, and I sometimes don't know how to talk to him. And he said that made him feel like less of a person. And then he had somebody slide in his DMs trying to make him feel like the man. Like, oh, she, talking nasty. She want to do this to him and treat him like a king and blah, 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 blah. And he went for it. And yeah, he dead ass wrong, because you should have been strong enough to not fucking go for it if you have a wife that you love. But at the same time, I kind of understand how I played a part in that. No, I'm not excusing what he did, but I am using these conversations for me to become a better person, because I got a crazy ass mouth. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't. Another thing I want to address, people like, oh, you keep the house. I feel like I said this before, but maybe I didn't, so I repeat it. When we moved here to South Carolina, he's from here. I'm not from here. I'm from New Jersey by way of Augusta, Georgia. So when we moved here to be closer to his family. Like literally my house is right here. Up the street is his sister's house. Across the street from the sister is the uncle, the grandma, auntie. Behind them, like we're surrounded by his family. I don't want to be around his family for the rest of my life. You know how awkward that is for me to 10 years from now move on in life and be dating and my ex-husband's family is all right there. No, I do not want to stay there. Like, I don't want to stay there. That's why I don't want to stay in the house. I don't want to be surrounded by his people. Then people like, oh, put him out. He gonna go up the street to his sister's house. I'm still gonna see him every single day. He's literally gonna be 2 seconds away from me. And it's just literally we live right here. My sister-in-law lives up the street on the corner. Like, I'm the only person here who don't have nothing and nobody to be here for besides my kids. So it would make more sense for me to leave. We bought the house to be closer to his family. So why would I then make him leave the house that's closer to his family? I'll see if the house is closer to my family, then baby, you got to go. But we close to your people. I don't want to stay close to your people for the rest of my life, especially if we're not going to be together. I don't want to do it. This whole situation is also making me realize that maybe we had more issues in our marriage than we talked about. Because just talking to him and, you know, seeing how I made him feel as a man, like made him feel like he wasn't shit when he do bust his ass. Because like I said, he go to work every day. This man get up, he don't take no sick days. Like, he have to be damn near on his deathbed for him to be taking sick days. He go to work every day faithfully. He don't have no problem with it. He make decent money at his job. You know, like I said, he been cleaning, he been helping out. But I'm just really more than overwhelmed, and I took that shit out on him instead of expressing how I felt. Also, I could have been better at communicating how I felt and that I was getting overwhelmed and overstimulated, so that way he can try to be there for me. But also, I would say my husband has a lack in emotions. A little backstory on my husband: when he was like 12 years old, his mom passed away, and then his brother and sister dad raised him, and with his brother and sister daddy raising him, rest in peace to Big Don, that's my dog. That's who I would call his father. He still has a bio dad, but his bio dad lives in North Carolina, and you know, he come down on weekends to go to church and stuff like that, but he didn't really like take him. When his mom passed, he said that he didn't want to separate him from his siblings, so he let the brother and sister daddy keep all the kids, because that's what the mama wanted, for him to keep all of the kids. So number one, he got resentment issues towards his father. He feel abandoned by his father because you could have took me. Number two, your mom passed when you 12 years old. You don't really have that guidance in those years, because you know, when you turn 13, that's when most Caucasian people have a bar mitzvah and stuff, because you becoming a man and a lot of people say guys need their dad, but they also need their mom to teach them the emotional part of life, because men don't teach emotions. His dad did not teach emotions. The one that raised him did not teach emotions. I'm talking about, I met this man, love this man with all my heart. He never came out of his mouth and told me he loved me. He showed me. His actions showed me, but he don't know how to express himself. My husband, he does not know how to express himself. Like, anytime I see him like crying, he'll go get in the car and be like, I'm about to go somewhere, and then he'll come back and I'll see like the tear marks or his eyes red, and he like, oh, I don't want to feel weak. That's another thing. We as women, this is teaching me a lot, because I do have a son. We can't be going around telling our kids not to cry, because it's okay for them to cry, because if not, you get these men that's emotionally unstable and don't know how to express their emotions because they don't want to seem weak. Now I did ask my husband, like, did I ever make you feel like you weak for crying? He was like, no, because I console him. When he cry, I console him, I hug him, I let him know it's okay to get it out, because it is natural to cry, and it's okay for men to cry, but a lot of men don't think it's okay. Again, I'm rambling, and it sounds like I'm giving him excuses, because y'all, the more that I stay around him, the more that I want to fix my marriage, but I know that I can't, because I just feel like if it was that easy for you to just slip up after 3 years, you consciously made the decision. Yeah, whoever it was that slid in your DMs and made you feel good, yes, they made you feel good in a vulnerable moment, but going forward in life, do you think that you will never have another vulnerable moment and have an opportunity to slip up? Will you be strong enough to not slip up? Like, these are all the things that I'm thinking about that I don't think I ever really thought about before. So yeah, all this stuff is now currently going through my mind, because I'm just like, I don't think I can do it. He have been texting me and apologizing and stuff like that, but it's also still like, bro, you did what you did, and I really feel like you didn't give a fuck about me in the midst of doing what you did. Granted, like I said, he didn't physically cheat, but it's the fact that you still was talking to people. He sent me a few messages this morning telling me, you know, that he not happy without me and stuff like that, and he never said out his mouth he don't want me to leave, but he keeps saying he not happy without me, he don't want to be without me and stuff like that, and that he know he got to do better, and stuff like that. But and he keep apologizing. And he did mention, this is why I pulled up the message, he said this is his first real relationship and the longest, and he's still learning. I understand that, but how long do it take you to learn that you shouldn't cheat on your spouse? How long should that take you to learn? Like, the other stuff, cool. I know you really don't know how to be like the emotional support when I'm going through my mental stuff. I get it. I understand completely. You don't understand, because I don't really understand what be going on with me mentally. So you just, you know, he like to tell me everything gonna be okay and stuff like that. But my thing is, when you see that I'm getting mentally unstable and I got a lot going on, take some stuff off my plate. Oh, babe, don't worry. And granted, he does. Maybe it's just not as much as I want him to. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, and everything is just so confusing. And I really, y'all, this is so hard, because if I had the money to leave, I probably would have already left. I would have left, got me a place, took my kids, and that just been that. We'll figure out co-parenting from there. Then it's also, I don't have the support system. Anywhere I go, I'm going to be a mother that's single. I'm not going to call myself a single mother, because he's a great father and I know he's still going to take care of his kids. But anywhere I go, I would be a mother that's single. So I would have to start, like, either I would have to be a full-time content creator so I can drop my kids off and pick them up and don't have to worry about nobody, how, you know, how they gonna get to and from. Or I would have to pay extra money out of pocket for childcare to get them to school, because a lot of people don't realize school hours and work hours don't match up. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. My daughter was in the 2nd grade this past year, and she go to school from 7 to 2:30. Now, going to school at 7, great. I can drop you off, no problem. I got to be to work at 8, but I don't get off until 5, and you get out of school at 2:30. Who gonna pick them kids up and keep them for 2.5 hours while I'm at work? That's been a problem we had together. So it's going to be even more of an issue if we not together. When we not together, it's like, this shit just so hard not knowing. And I know people say ask God. It's like right now I feel like God giving me mixed signals, or I don't know if it's God and the devil giving me signals at the same time. I don't know what to do, because a part of me, like, it's just like, oh, well, God is saying, you know, this the best move, put yourself first. But then is other things like, oh, you know, well, don't leave, stick it out, not necessarily work it out, but stick it out and come up with a plan. But I'm just like, I know me, I love this man so much, y'all, I'm not gonna cry. I love this man so much that I know if I stay, I'm gonna take him back. I know this. Like, I'm not even bullshit. I'm not trying to be weak or none of that, but I just know if I stay, I'm going to take him back, because he's not a terrible person and he's not a completely horrible husband. Like, when I say this man, he cooked breakfast on the weekends. But even during the week, if I'm tired and overwhelmed, I'm like, babe, I don't feel like cooking dinner. Can you figure it out? He was like, well, shit, it's just going to be a fend for yourself type of night. I'll make the kids some fries and chicken nuggets. You know, you let me. If I open my mouth more, he will help more. But then it's also like, I don't want to be, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I got a lot of thinking to do. And I know I need to choose me, and I know I need to put my foot down, because like I said, if not, he gonna keep doing it. He gonna keep trying to test the waters and see how far he can mother freaking swim. And I ain't with none of that. You're not about to keep saying if you can goddamn be Michael Phelps around this motherfucker. You just not. I'm not. You're not gonna keep swimming. This is not Dory. Just keep swimming. No, we're not doing that. We're not. And I'm not gonna keep allowing you to play in my face. Like I said, I got stuff that I got going on in life and things that I'm trying to do with my life that I do not need to be hindered by emotions. Like, I don't, because I'm the type of person, I'm a very emotional person. So when stuff like this happens, I shut down. I lay in the bed. Like this past weekend, I had a 4-day weekend. Everything happened, I want to say either Friday night going into Saturday is when everything happened. Friday night is when I found the messages. I woke him up, said, you just lost your family, blah, 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 blah. Saturday morning, I get up. I go to the first day of being on the movie set. Everything was fine. I had the kids with me, came home. I laid in bed and cried for the rest of the day Saturday. And I cried all day Sunday. And I laid in the bed all day yesterday, to the point where I'm not even fully prepared for White History Wednesday tomorrow. I got to talk about it Tuesday tonight. I'm not fully prepared. I don't really have no topics for that. Like, I am a very emotional person. And when things go wrong in my life, I shut down. And that's the one thing I'm not trying to do. I'm not trying to stay in a situation that's going to hinder me from going forward. And I feel like that's what's going on right now in this moment. Because I really just want to be in the bed balled up crying. And yeah, partially the weather, because it's raining and that's what you do in the rain, but also because my feelings are really hurt, because I just knew we was about to be this lovely, amazing power couple. Not power couple, because he don't want to be in the limelight, like, but I was gonna be this power, like, I was just gonna grow and everything was gonna be great, and I got my man and I got my kids, but life don't always go how you want it. It don't always go how you want it, and that shit sucks. That shit sucks, because I just seen us being together forever. I seen us being together for the rest of our life. I seen us being together till our kids have kids. I'm talking about, I just seen the other day, there's a couple in North Carolina who had the longest marriage in the Guinness World History book, right? I think they made it like 87 years, and he passed away at 105. I was like, we gonna beat that record. Like, that's really what I wanted for my marriage, for us to be married that long, to see our kids have kids. Like, and sadly, I don't think that's going to happen. And one of my friends, she's very spiritual, you know, and very in tune. And she was just like, well, even if you leave, y'all going to get back together. And I'm just like, then that makes no point of me leaving. If we just going to get back together years down the line, I think that's stupid. If we gonna not be together, we don't need to not be together. And then, you know, a few other people was like, yeah, I know he love you. I can tell he loves you. You know, you love him. Which is true. I know he love me, and I love him. However, do you love me enough to not entertain people? That's the real question. Do you love me enough to not entertain people? Because that's all I want. I want you to not entertain people, support me in my dreams, and fucking, I don't know, and be there so I don't get overstimulated. Because I be having a lot on my plate, y'all. And granted, like I said, it's stuff that I put on my own plate, because I don't have to want to figure things out on my own. I'm just used to having to figure things out on my own. So it's like I said, I told y'all my routine, but then when I get off work, yeah, I'm doing the regular motherly and wifely things, but I also got a podcast that I got to make sure I record, edit, keep the audio crispy. Then other people want me on their shows, so I got to make sure my schedule match up, so I'm not double booking myself to go be on somebody else's show. Then I got, on top of, really this 9 to 5 in a way. If I can get rid of this 9 to 5, I have more time to do everything I want to do, and I won't be so overwhelmed. And I didn't start back getting overwhelmed until I came back to work. And that's the God's honest truth. I didn't start back getting overwhelmed until I came back to work. But when I wasn't at work, I was stressing about bills. It's really a catch-22. It's a catch-22. And even though we argue, well, not arguing, even though we going back and forth about what's going on, he's still like, I didn't tell you to go back to work. You don't have to work there. You can quit right now. And I'm just like, if I quit right now, how are we going to pay these bills? Like, I'm worried about being homeless by myself when I leave, but then to worry about being homeless with you and the kids and we ain't got nowhere to go, that's a whole nother stress on my mind. See, that's the thing. I'm so used to being on my own that, yeah, he go to work and we got a joint bank account, but he don't pay no bills. Like, I'm the one who budgeting the bills for us and making sure, okay, we got to pay this week, this, that week, this. And I'm just like, maybe you should step up and do that. Like, maybe you should step up and allocate these bills, because it's getting too much on my plate. I don't want to have to do it. I don't. It's getting too much for me. Like, yeah, you go to work, you make the money, you put all your money in the account, you let me pay the bills, and whatever's left over, then you go have your fun with that. Like, when I say have your fun, my husband, you know, he gardens. So, yeah, that. So, he's a great provider, because the money's there. He's gonna put the money in the account at all times. I know somebody else said something about be prepared for him to switch up. My husband is really not that type of person. And just as much as I don't want to leave, he don't want me to leave. So, and he's not a confrontational person. Like, he don't like to argue. He don't like to bicker. He don't like none of that stuff. So whatever I say really gonna go. Like, if I say, okay, I'm leaving and I'm taking the kids and you get them every weekend, he gonna be like, okay, that's fine. Or if I say, oh, I'm leaving and you keep the kids and I take them on the weekends, he gonna say, okay, that's fine. Whatever, like, that's just how our relationship always went. And I feel like I'm also in a season where I want something a little different. I don't want to have to be the one with the decision making and the having to not carry thing financially, because he the one who make the money. He make more money than I do. I don't make shit at this job. Anywho, I don't want to be the one having to make all the decisions, having to make all the tough choices, like, oh, we're going to pay this bill this week and hold off on this bill, Rob. Like, that shit gets stressful paying Tetris with bills. Like, playing Tetris with bills is a fucking stressor, okay? And I'm in a season where I kind of want to be in my soft girl era, but we're not financially in a position for me to be in my soft girl era. That can also be another thing. Can I be in the soft girl era by myself? Which I feel like I can. But it's still like, do I want to? Do I have to? Oh, this is just so stressful, y'all. I know I need to take it a day at a time, and I got a lot of thinking to do. But yeah, this is day 3, and it's a lot for me, and I feel like all my thoughts are crashing down. Like, all my thoughts about why I want to leave, why, you know, just all these things. I feel like everything is really crashing down on me, and I don't know, because I don't want to leave my kids. That's one of my biggest things. I love my kids. I don't want to leave my kids. I don't want to miss nothing in my kids. With things with kids, what people don't realize, I can leave my kids for 2 months and come back and something is completely different about them, because children grow and change every single day. So I really don't want to leave my kids. I don't want to stay in the same household, because I'm gonna end up taking them back. I know that was another suggestion that somebody told me, like, oh, y'all can just stay in the same house, just separate. No, I love that man. I'm not gonna just separate, because then if he in another room and he, you know, about to go on a date or some shit like that, I'm gonna be pissed, and I'm gonna be in my mother freaking feelings, and vice versa. He not gonna want to see his wife with somebody else, regardless if we together or not. And nobody wants to deal with that. I don't even see how people do that, be co-parenting in the same household. Like, you really got to be really strong and really over that person to be doing some shit like that. I don't know. This is just a lot on me at a time where I got a lot going on and I don't know what to do. I know that I can't be with him because he's not going to change. But I also know that I love him and I really want him to change. Okay, y'all, let me go, because I ain't got that much time left on my lunch break and I got to go get me some food. All right, see y'all later.